Now it's time to go back to some Arc 5 archetypes, and the last one I did were Yuri's Predaplants, and yeah, those were actually my most well-received video. And today we'll be taking a look at LUNALIGHT's similar archetype. It's also based on fusion, and they were used by the first and my favorite bracelet girl here to be displayed on the channel, which is Serena. Yeah, she's my favorite bracelet girl, despite the main lead Yuzu, which her archetype I might cover in the next season. I didn't decide to cover it in this season. But anyway, let's get on to it and tackle their first monster, which is LUNALIGHT Black Sheep. It's a level 2 dark monster with 100 attack and 600 defense, and it's a beast warrior. And it says, you can discard this card, then activate one of these effects. First one is, add one LUNALIGHT monster from your graveyard to your hand except LUNALIGHT Black Sheep. And the second one is, add one polymerization from your deck to your hand. If this card is sent to the graveyard as a fusion material for a fusion summon, you can add to your hand one face-up LUNALIGHT Pendulum monster from your extra deck or one LUNALIGHT monster from your graveyard except LUNALIGHT Black Sheep. Alright, the first discarding effects are the ones that weren't running this on 3, because it completely replaces Fusion Sage in that matter. However, the first one is a bit too specific because it requires graveyard setup, but that's about to change since the LUNALIGHTs have a lot of graveyard setup, since they rely on fusion most of the time. And the second effect is actually really nice because it allows for some plays with their later fusion cards, which we'll later see. So yeah, I'll say always run 3 of these and never any less. Their next monster is another level 2 LUNALIGHT White Rabbit. It's also a beast warrior and higher stats, of course. And when this card is normal summoned, you can target one LUNALIGHT monster in your graveyard except LUNALIGHT White Rabbit, special summon it in defense position. Once per turn you can target one spell or trap your opponent controls up to the number of other LUNALIGHT cards you control, return them to the hand. If it said destroy this card would have been awesome. It would actually have seen the ban list. Well, who am I kidding? No, it wouldn't. But yeah, it would be certainly more devastating than bouncing. Well, yeah. But the summon effect is actually nice. It recovers your pieces if you don't have enough in your hand, and you can go into one of their fusions. However, it relies on normal summoning, which is not something you want with this archetype. Alright, their next monster is their first level 3 LUNALIGHT Purple Butterfly. You can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard, then target one LUNALIGHT monster you control. It gains 1000 attack until the end of this turn. You can banish this card from your graveyard, special summon one LUNALIGHT monster from your hand. You can only use this effect of LUNALIGHT Purple Butterfly once per turn. The attack boost is admirable, and it sets the graveyard up for your second effect. And yeah, this is actually an okay effect. Run it too, because it can get cloggy at some times. Their next monster is LUNALIGHT Blue Cat, which is their first level 4. Another beast warrior. If this card is special summoned, you can target one LUNALIGHT monster you control, except LUNALIGHT Blue Cat. Its attack becomes double its original attack until the end of this turn. You can only use this effect of LUNALIGHT Blue Cat once per turn. If this card is on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon one LUNALIGHT monster from your deck. The floating effect searches out the entire archetype, even their higher level monsters, which is alright. I mean, really nice. But the real kicker is the effect if you manage to special summon it while you have their boss monster on the field, and I'll get to it later. I mean, definitely run 3 of these. It's your one of your primary playmakers. Their next card is one of my personal favorites visually. It's LUNALIGHT Crimson Fox. Just look at that artwork. It's so majestic, so crimson. But anyway, waifu bait, who cares? If this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls, change its attack to 0 until the end of this turn. When this card or effect, when a card or effect is activated that targets a LUNALIGHT monster, quick effect, you control, you can banish this card from your graveyard, negate the activation, and if you do, each player gains 1000 life points. Alright, the first effect is actually pretty common use because you would most likely use this in a polymerization combo. So yeah, this is actually a really nice effect. Always run 3 definitely, and yeah, waifu bait. What else can I say? Next up is LUNALIGHT KALEIDO Chick. Once per turn, you can send 1 LUNALIGHT monster from your deck or extra deck to the graveyard. The name of this face-up card on the field is treated as the send monsters if used as fusion material this turn. If this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can target 1 polymerization in your graveyard, add it to your hand. You can only use this effect of LUNALIGHT KALEIDO Chick once per turn. If this card is banished, you can activate this effect this turn. Your opponent's cards and effects cannot be activated during the battle phase. The banish effect might be a bit too specific, but there's a certain card that helps with that later. But yeah, the extra deck dump is really nice because you can actually, I think you can revive them later with something like Call of the Haunted. I don't know, I'm not sure actually, I've never tried this because when I was playtesting doing Serena's Authentic Ultimate deck on the channel, Crimson Fox and Kaleido Chick weren't present in the game because there are newer cards. So yeah, I would prefer running at least 2 of these. Next up is their first Pendulum monster, and that is LUNALIGHT Tiger. It's a scale 5, and its pendulum effect is once per turn you can target 1 LUNALIGHT monster in your graveyard, special summon it, but it cannot attack, its effects are negated, and it is destroyed during the end phase. Its monster effect is, if this card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target 1 LUNALIGHT monster in your graveyard, special summon it, you can only use this effect of LUNALIGHT Tiger once per turn. So the floating, so the monster is basically a floating effect. It is any monster, so yeah, it can be a high level monster. However, the pendulum effect actually helps out with some fusion setup if you do not have some in your hand. So yeah, I'd say definitely run this one. And their other pendulum monster is their first and the highest level main deck monster, LUNALIGHT Wolf, a level 6 and a scale 1. You cannot pendulum summon monsters except LUNALIGHT monsters. This effect cannot be negated. Wow, that Clifford experience. Once per turn, you can fusion summon 1 LUNALIGHT fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing fusion monsters listed on it from your field or graveyard. Monster effect: if a LUNALIGHT monster you control attack a defense position monster, inflict piercing damage to your opponent. Behold, the heroes! This is a searchable miracle fusion, something you lack. Yeah. And the monster effect, if you manage to summon it, which is very rarely since the pendulum scale does not support level 6 monsters, is something you rarely use, but it's always appreciated in LUNALIGHT because they have some really high attack value numbers, especially their fusion monsters, which I'll get to later. I mean right now. So yeah, their first monster, the first fusion monster is LUNALIGHT Cat Dancer, with the summoning animation in the anime that is easily better than Dark Magician Girl. I mean seriously, look at it, it's just amazing. Look it up, I'll probably link it in the description. But anyway, back to the effect. It requires 2 LUNALIGHT monsters, any of them. Cannot be destroyed by battle. Once per turn during your main phase, you can attribute 1 other LUNALIGht monster for the rest of this turn. The first time each monster your opponent controls will be destroyed by battle, it is not destroyed. Also, this card can attack all monsters your opponent controls twice each. This turn, if this card declares an attack, inflict 100 damage to your opponent. Alright, but this 100 burn is irrelevant as hell, but yeah, it can be resummoned if you send it to the graveyard with Kaleido Chick, but it works wonderfully with Crimson Fox and Blue Cat if you manage to get them onto the field together. It is just so insane that it hurts. Always run 3 and never any less. Their next monster is LUNALIGHT Panther Dancer. It requires specifically LUNALIGHT Cat Dancer and any 1 LUNALIGHT monster. Must first be fusion summoned with the above fusion materials. Cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Once per turn during your main phase, you can activate this effect. For the rest of this turn, the first time each monster you control will be destroyed by battle, it is not destroyed. Also, this card can attack all monsters your opponent controls twice each. This card, this turn, when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, this gains 200 attack until the end of the battle phase. So yeah, this is actually pretty good, but it is not resummonable if you send it to the graveyard via Kaleido Chick, which is kind of a bummer. But this effect is just really good, and you can get some massive damage outputs if if you combine it with Crimson Fox and some of their later cards. But anyway, their final boss monster, which works wonderfully with Wolf and Blue Cat and Crimson Fox, is definitely LUNALIGHT Leo Dancer. It requires specifically LUNALIGHT Panther Dancer and 2 LUNALIGHT monsters. Must be fusion summoned with the above fusion materials and cannot be special summoned by other ways. Cannot be targeted or destroyed by your opponent's card effects. This card can make a second attack during each battle phase. Once per turn, at the end of the damage step, if this card attacked a monster, you can destroy all special summoned monsters your opponent controls. It has 3,500 attack. It can get its attack points doubled via Blue Cat. You can zero out the opponent's monster's attack with Crimson Fox. And it has some nice protection, and it destroys every special summon monster. It's basically a special hurricane. All on top of this really nice attack of this monster. I don't know, this card is so good that it hurts. I'd say run 3 at all times, but it can be a bit too costly to summon. But there are cards that help out with that, such as Wolf's Miracle Fusion effect. I'd say this is a card to remember. It is really nice. Alright, their final 2 cards. The first spell card is LUNALIGHT Perfume. Why the space between? Alright, it's a spell card, a normal one. It says target 1 LUNALIGHT monster in your graveyard, special summon it. You can banish this card from your graveyard and discard 1 card, add 1 LUNALIGHT monster from your deck to your hand. The Monster Reborn effect is nice, but the cost, I don't know what's with the double cost just to perform a simple search, because LUNALIGHT Black Sheep does the job better. You need to banish this card and then discard 1 card, which is something the fusion archetypes really don't want to do, unless it's just for a card effect that they need to activate at the time. But I would prefer running 2 of these because it's one of their best search options. Maybe 3, depending on how you feel like it. And their final card is the normal trap card, LUNALIGHT Reincarnation Dance. If a monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, add up to 2 LUNALIGHT monsters from your deck to your hand. You can only activate 1 of this card once per turn. So yeah, this is actually pretty good. It sets up for a Cat Dancer if you have a Poly in your hand, or if you have a Black Sheep in your hand, you can actually search out the Poly. And yeah, I'd say always run 3 because some of your lower level ones usually tend to blow up. So yeah, I'd say definitely run this one. Alright, now time for the grades. Consistency. Now, getting to your monsters is generally not a problem inside the archetype. However, Beast Warriors and Beast Monsters do not have that many outside support, except, I don't know, depending on what you run. I'd say consistency is a 2 out of 3, at least to me. Now, power is definitely 3 out of 3 because you can get some insane combos with Leo Dancer if you double its attack to 7,000 and it attacks twice. So definitely 3 out of 3 in power output. Now, comeback ability, that's a bit of a problematic one for me. It depends on top decking some very specific non-archetypal cards in most cases. Still, they have a Miracle Fusion, a searchable Miracle Fusion, which is always accepted. I don't know, I'm gonna give him a 2 out of 3. Protection, however, this protection is... The protection on Leo Dancer is nice, but then again we're talking about a single monster which is kind of a bit too specific to summon. So I'm gonna give it a 1 out of 3 because, yeah. Now, versatility, I would say 3 out of 3 because these are easily splashable in Predaplant builds. Yeah, Yuri X Serena, the fanfictions spoke again. So yeah, versatility, definitely a 3 out of 3. Now, this was a really fun review. I would say this is like I said, this is my favorite bracelet girl, the owner of this archetype. However, there is another bracelet girls which features a much better archetype than this one, and we'll get to that next week. So yeah, we're done for today. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned for more visual tips and updates. Comment, like, and subscribe. And as usual, I'll upload the next part whenever I can. See you all. Have a good day and peace.